Okay, we're under the car now, and I've got both the front tires off because I am installing the MCS and ground control and AGK E36 M3 wide body front suspension. And there you go, the crazy rebuilt strut towers, AKG fully adjustable control arms, and tie rods with bump steer correction, stock E36 M3 steering rack with an AN adapter to fit this to the KRC power steering bump. Anyway, here's a look at the rebuilt strut tower from underneath. Most of the welds are on top. It's plenty strong. I added these wings here, the braces. Very similar to the OE one that is cut off right there, that did go up to where the strut tower is. The strut towers had to be moved forward to get the caster right for the E36 M3 steering knuckles that are quite different than the E9. Let's see, underneath, here's the Tremec. This is where the X-pipe will come through here, the merge somewhere back here, and then the header outlet about here, tie into the X-pipe. The oval exhaust pipe will come off the X-pipe, go through these cutouts here. Saved about 1.25 inches of ground clearance by cutting the floorboards out, and I'll recess the muffler pipe up into that. You can see the drive shaft with a big old knuckle here. Saddle required because it's a one-piece drive shaft, and this end is captive by the subframe. You can't get it out of there without being able to pull the drive shaft forward, which means you have to be able to unbolt the drive shaft spider there, push the yoke up into the transmission, and then you can get the drive shaft out. Good thing to remember. And thank you, Charlie Shatson, for reminding me of that. Here's the diff. Big old E28 M5 diff, 210 millimeter ring gear, supposedly good for about 600 foot-pounds of torque. The fuel cell and the mufflers. I think the fuel cell looks really cool. Kind of a trick setup. I had to build it so that it could be removed from the bottom because you can't do it from the top. It won't come out. So there you go. There's another little look at the kind of little fancy angle braces I put in there just because I thought it looked cool. And then you're going to have the 1 in and 2 out on each of the mufflers. We'll cut a little recess in the rear valence here. So we'll have 4 pipes sticking out the back and sounding good. Anyway, here you go. Lots of work. And I'll give you a little shot of this too. These are David Green SyncroDesign spherical bearing rear trailing arm bushings. Very nice pieces with Ireland eccentrics on the pivots so that we have adjustable toe and camber. There's a mock-up of the adapter I will be building to hold the E36 M3 brake caliper onto the E28 trailing arm, and unfortunately That covers up the place where you would have an ABS sensor, but who needs ABS? Speaking of locking up tires under braking, didn't mention that these monsters are for the back. They're 315 35 17s, and on the front are the 275 40 17s. The fronts will be mounted on 10.5 by 17 forged lines, and the rears will be mounted on 12.5 by 17 forged lines. Alright folks, I guess that's about it. Here's David's subframe bushing as well. SyncroDesign, David Green. Thank you, David. Anyway, that's all for now. See ya.